Good morning, hope you're doing really well. Today I am in Guildford. In fact, I'm just on the very outskirts of Guildford. I'm at St Catherine's Hill and I'm here to take you to a ruined chapel which is situated on top of this hill. In fact, there it is. And it's beautiful. Never been to St Catherine's Hill before, so this is the first for me to come here. Now I know we won't be able to access it because it's fenced off, but as I say before, I'll never necessarily complain about that because it just hopefully gives it that bit more preservation, longevity. So anyway, enjoy your history lesson. I'll see you when I get to the top. Come on. Located to the south of Guildford lies St Catherine's Hill, and standing on top is a truly beautiful ruin, that of the namesake of St Catherine's Chapel. Built in the early part of the 14th century, the chapel had commanding views as it stood looking over the River Wey and onward to Guildford itself. It was erected by Richard de Wantsey, rector of St Nicholas Church, and would become used as a chapel of ease for the parish church, providing a more convenient place to worship for those who had lived some distance away from the church itself. It was built using local sandstone and would become a focal point for a 5-day fair which has been held here historically, licensed by King Edward II in 1308. Like with similar sites, time, cost and maintenance became its downfall, and it was noted that the chapel was no longer in use by about 1546. However, it was partially restored as a romantic ruin by Robert Austin in 1793. It is now Grade 1 listed status and well worth a visit should you be in the area. So welcome back. We just had a walk round. My throat's going. Morning throat. If there is such a thing. Raspy throat. I was singing in the car all the way down here today, so I was like, I think I've used up my voice just singing. But yeah, here we are at the ruined chapel at St Catherine's Hill, and it is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, you can't access it. I suppose you could if you really wanted to try, but obviously for me, I always try to show maximum respect as possible, even if there is access in inverted commas. But today we're not going to do that anyway. There are a few little holes that you could probably sneak through if you're a little child. However, I am overweight, so no. Even if I wanted to, I think. Isn't it just picturesque? It's beautiful. You can understand why it's fenced off for lots of multiple reasons, really. I mean, there's lots, look, if you can see this, lots of excess masonry that seems to have been chipped away at or fallen off, worryingly more so. But isn't it just so beautiful? Like I said, first time I've visited this before, and yet, you know, I've visited Guildford on many an occasion. This area of Surrey, pretty much almost on the border of it, you know, very familiar with, but never ever come here. And I thought today, I woke up early and I was like, right, I'm going to do this one today. Felt really sort of jubilant to sort of want to try and document it, just for my channel really. You know, sometimes even if we can't access something, doesn't mean that we can't just enjoy it just as much. But look at this. I really am in love with this. Shame about the noise of the road, but again, it's quite early in the morning and you can hear the noise already. It's still quite loud. Most people are waking up. But what it symbolises is how high we are up and how important this chapel would have been. And it's pretty much in its sort of high life really, the fact that it just dominates this landscape. You can actually really get a good idea of Guildford itself really, because I think that Guildford's kind of a bit of a misnomer really with its undulations quite a lot. In fact, Guildford's pretty much finger of doom straight in front of me. But you can see it is although Guildford actually, surprisingly enough, is actually quite high up, it does surround a few hills, but it's sort of that Surrey vibe, isn't it? Surrey seems to have loads and loads of these sort of hills, the Mole Valley, for example, that we register quite a lot. And then down there, whilst I'll point this out to you, we can't access it, but down there was a really interesting discovery. You can hear the train going by, actually. Down there, there was a hidden cave that had been exposed, and they reckoned it was something to do with worship or Templar, maybe. I think even one point in the room. Don't quote me on that. The point is, we can't. It's. I don't know whether it's been filled up now, or it's been, like, I can't even remember now, or it's been backfilled or whatever. But the point is, we can't access it. So I can talk as much as I want about it, but the point is, it's not accessible anymore. Oh God, if that makes sense. Sorry, everybody. It's okay to be human and sometimes forget things and not remember every single piece of history from everything that we do. But look at that, the sun's beating down on it. Gorgeous. We'll walk around it properly. There's a notice board here. A little bit of wind coming through, so I do apologise if that is the case. We're high up, what can you do? See, it gives us St Catherine's Hill, the chapel and the fair, which are, like I said, beautiful old images as well we can look at. And it's interesting because if you see the engraving in 1787, so it shows the chapel in a rather more complete condition in an earlier view of 1785. Doorway on the right seems to be in the course of reconstruction, and the view may show the architect describing his work to the patron. The repairs were probably carried out in order to make the ruins more picturesque, turning it practically into a folly, in essence. It's quite funny, actually, the pigeons are out in full force today. But it's quite interesting to note that when you compare that 1700 photo, actually when you look through, really not much has changed since that period of time. So actually, you could argue it's twofold. Actually, it's testament to the preservation that's been done here to make it so that it hasn't changed too much. Sorry if I'm getting the light a little bit. But also the fact of, when stuff like this is here and it's prominent, it can go on for generations if well maintained. But yeah, wow, very nice. I think sometimes, these types of places are better when they're put into context and they're sort of landscaping. Yes, I know there's a lot of fences and fenced off areas which sort of like defy that, but I really do think that if you are in the area, you should definitely come and check this place out, just for a little bit of storytelling, just a little bit of history. The only thing now I will make it very clear to everybody, and it is a big complaint of mine, and it's rare that I do make an epic complaint about something, but the parking here is absolutely stupid. In theory, there's 2 spots. Today they were filled up, so I had to go down to where do I go down to? There's a road just after the pub on the dip of the hill. Forgive me, I can't remember what that's called. But it's free on Sundays on their sort of like road. And I parked down there. Otherwise, you could park at the pub if the pub was open. Obviously, it's a Sunday morning as I'm recording this. So that's why another reason why coming down here, because you normally know that if there's those sort of permit types of things, it's normally they're normally not on Sundays, so normally it's quite free on Sundays anywhere you go normally, which it was today. So if I wanted to, I could spend even more time here. But just a heads up on that, if you do come here, parking is an absolute nightmare, which is a shame. But then again, it might add to the fact that it's the reason why it's probably maintained in so much condition is actually, if you are a tourist or somebody who wants to visit it, to try and actually access it, to try and park somewhere, is really difficult. The other thing to note is beyond this, just down there is a University of Law, and it's been noted that lots of students from, obviously Guildford itself's got a huge uni sort of culture, will come down here. So nice. You can hear those pigeons though, what I always call the mafia pigeons. Look like they're ganging up. There you go, everybody. Lovely, lovely ruin. Glad I came here, glad I came here on a day like today. I mean, look at this. Wouldn't change it for the world, would you, when you see a view like this? Simply stunning. I mean, really, I know I've probably used those types of phrases quite a lot, but on a day like today, look at that. Really, really special. And then as we look up, very nice. Well, I think that concludes our little trip for today into Guildford. Really hope you enjoyed this video. It was more a historical documentation video, really. In other words, you're getting more from the history rather than the actual visit itself, hopefully. But I really hope you enjoyed it. I really hope you came along with me and you stayed to watch it till the end. And as I stand behind it in this beautiful sunshine, thank you so much for watching. Feel free to spread the word of the channel. Much love to all of you out there. And in the immortal words of Phoenix history, because history matters, and my God, doesn't it just on a place like this, so pretty. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you all very soon. Ready? Come on then, you know the drill by now. Kapow.